All right, and here we go with, I believe, part 5 of our lecture notes on development. Again, you have seen this slide before. I'm just using it as our intro slide. Also, because I do need to go back and revisit a concept. Let's see. It was on your different levels of economic activity. Do you remember what they are? What do they start with? And here is the slide. Primary, secondary, and tertiary. On Friday in class, you received a rather large handout of, and it says up at the top, Read and Study by 418. And the first large kind of bold of it says Comparative Advantage, Outsourcing, and Offshoring. Within that, okay, let's see, is it within that? It's somewhere in that. Yep, starting on page 298 and beyond. It does talk about tertiary services and gives a map and labor forces and stuff like that. And still going on to page 300, it discusses them. And then starting on page 301 in the middle, it does say quaternary and quinary activities. I believe in part um, 2 or possibly part 3, I told you that you did not need to worry about quinary. And I'm mistaken. You do need to know about it, and this is where you are going to learn about it from the handout I gave you. That is where you need to learn from it. In the handout, quaternary is underlined. Okay, quaternary is underlined, and it says sector may be seen realistically as an advanced form of services involving specialized knowledge, technical skill, communication ability, or administrative competence. These are the tasks carried on in office buildings, elementary and university classrooms, hospitals, doctors' offices, theaters, accounting and brokerage firms, and the like. With the explosive growth in demand for and consumption of information-based services, i.e. mutual fund managers, tax consultants, software developers, statisticians, and more at near infinite length, the quaternary sector in the most highly developed economies has replaced all primary and secondary employment as the basis for economic growth. In fact, more than half of all the workers in rich economies are in the knowledge sector alone, in the production, storage, retrieval, or distribution of information. Okay, so quaternary is not on this slide right here. Everything I was just reading is about quaternary. You need to listen to what I just said again. You need to read it on that page 301 that I handed out to you. You need to highlight it, and you are responsible for it. Okay, that is about quaternary. Now let's move on to quinary. Okay, and I'm going to read the paragraph aloud just as I did the paragraph on quaternary. Quinary is not on the slide that you are looking at, so you need to listen as I'm reading the paragraph aloud, and you can even read the paragraph along with me since you do have the handouts now. Quinary activities are the gold collar professions of the chapter title. Okay, another separately recognized subdivision of the tertiary sector, representing the special and highly paid skills of top business executives, government officials, research scientists, financial and legal consultants, and the like. Quinary activity people find their place of business in major metropolitan centers, in and near major universities and research parks, at first-rank medical centers, and in the cabinet and department-level offices of political capitals. Within their cities of concentration, they may be highly localized by prestigious street addresses, such as Park Avenue and Wall Street, or post offices, Princeton, New Jersey, or by notable signature office buildings, the Transamerica Building, the Seagram Building. Okay? Their importance in the structure of advanced economies far outweigh their numbers. Okay? Those are your quinary level of economic activity, or your gold collar level, your gold collar professions. You do need to know the distinction between all 5. Primary, secondary, tertiary, quaternary, and quinary. You need to know what type of jobs and employment opportunities occur at each level. You need to know how they differ from each other, and you need to know where you're most likely to find each level of economic activity. Okay, so that is about that. Moving on to, okay, moving on to. Let's see, you've seen all this stuff? Yes, I'm not trying to give you a headache. I'm just going through. Hopefully you read all this stuff. I told you did not have to write it down, but you do need to know the story behind those and as well as gender empowerment. Okay, and I believe here is where we are, and I believe we even looked at Rostow's model. Yeah. Okay, I will actually end with that, with the levels of economic activity, and this will kind of be a lecture notes part 4A or something like that, and I will continue on with Rostow's ladder and the rest of your economic geography notes in part 5.